show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. In studio with me is the head of business solution at Digicel BVI, Mr. Anil Daniels. It's a pleasure to have you back on set. Anil, what's the heat doing with you?
Good morning, Kathy, and good morning to all those who are listening this morning. I wish everyone a productive week ahead, and persons do stay safe.
Yes, yes. Well, we're here to talk about what we see as a growing concern throughout the Caribbean region, and we dare say throughout the world, but we must be concerned about how do we protect our space here in the Virgin Islands when it comes to being hacked. We saw the reports of the various Caribbean countries who some would have lost their systems altogether and had to start from scratch, those who are partially, but more home to us. We recently had the BVI Electricity Corporation, which has thrown us back to a little bit of the Stone Age time where we now have to go and do everything manual. Digicel has been continuing its development and its advancement and its push to ensure that businesses are safe, and even in your private spaces, that you are not susceptible to being hacked. Tell us what BVI, Digicel BVI, has been doing and how you can work along with the business community in this area.
Well, cybersecurity has been, a topic of discussion for so many years. Now it has become more prevalent in today's society, with more persons using the businesses, the services on the internet. With the case of BVI, you see, Digicel has, extend ourselves. It's an unfortunate situation, but that could have happened to anyone. And so the question now is, how can we prevent it from happening going forward? Part of our Digicel business portfolio, cybersecurity has been our top tier product, and we have been pushing this out for the past 3 years in the British Virgin Islands, where you and I have been part of many discussions on helping small businesses, enterprises, and even government to take this stance, to take a proactive initiative to securing their networks. With that being said, with the 2024 studies, we're going to see an increase of 40% in cybersecurity.
Wow.
And that will be mainly through a lot of ransomware now, attacks being, prevalent in the world. And more persons, the cyber attackers, we know the white hackers, the blue hackers, what they are looking at is vulnerabilities. And vulnerabilities can stem from anywhere, both internal and external of your network. And so, what I would like to see is how, we can continue that dialogue with our customers in the British Virgin Islands. And it is everyone's responsibility to secure your business. Especially now we are seeing that 60% of those attacks are targeting small, medium businesses.
Wow.
So, the person who is building the business for the first time, taking it off the ground, trying to put the relevant security measures like firewalls and even, some level of security, they are actually being looked at. And then you have the enterprise companies like BVI Electricity, who have more information, more customer personal information. And so we are realizing that, even the healthcare sector is actually the largest sector that, that they are focusing on. And in the upcoming years, you would see more of the hospital, the clinics. They will have to take that proactive, preventative stance on put in as much security measures. I mean, we have HIPAA, we have the General Data Protection Regulation, the EU standard. We have a few of the Data Protection Act 2018. Those are bodies that have created frameworks for organizations around the world, even PDF from Canada, who have put a lot of regulation, a lot of framework to prevent things of that nature to happen. In the BVI, I think we need to not wait for when something happens to create a reaction. I think now that we know that we are on the map, basically, you know. So we've been hit, and it's a sad situation that it happened. You know, it did at the same time when we were going through this tropical storm, Ernesto, and you know, at that time everyone was in the rehabilitation process, the rehabilitation stage for this of that magnitude to happen. But I think, you know, us as telecommunication providers, Digicel, we have, you know, pledged our support that, you know, we want to work with the BVI Electricity Corporation. We want to work with other entities of that nature, especially utility companies, where most of the customer information is so, you know, important. And if there is not proper protection of the information, then, you know, those information can
risk,
be,
yes.
yeah.
What is it that stands out about the service that Digicel offer when we look at the others that are available as well? And in some cases, I'm thinking like when you're trying to take out a health insurance, yes, you have your NHI, but then again, you prefer to get one or two other private providers as well to make sure that you back up and strengthen that system. What's so strong about Digicels?
What I would say that really makes us stand out from the rest and what makes us, you know, trendsetters in this industry is that everything Digicel does has to be based on compliance. It has to be based on data regulation, Data Protection Act. It has to be based on the Cybersecurity Act that we embed in all our contracts. And we have to be compliant with security. Our backbone was built on security. And so for every service that we offer to our customers, managed Wi-Fi, broadband internet, dedicated connectivity, even things like vehicle tracking services, cloud data storages, all these things need to have security. And for us, you know, we are a telecommunication company. We want to make sure we give peace of mind to our customers. We want to ensure that whatever we deploy from end to end, it is protected. So from our core network, where we have all the importance of security policies, ensuring the processes are done right, ensuring that everything that cascades down to the customer and the customer CPE is protected. So we have done all that. Every year we have to do security training. Every month our employees go for security training, because what it shows is that education is the most important piece in cybersecurity. Knowing, understanding, and how to act the right way. And for us, if the employees are not trained the right way, because the human aspect leads to 70% of those attacks. Actually, it's an increase to 90% of those attacks.
Wow.
Yes, because more and more employees are more vulnerable, more susceptible to phishing attacks, more susceptible to not updating the passwords, not susceptible to not being able to have multi-authentication factors from the phone as well as on any online portals.
Yes.
And then you have more companies who have been open to bring your own device, which is BYOD. And so when you have employees bringing their own personal devices to the workforce or the workplace, you want to ensure that whatever they are doing outside of the network does not transition into the private network of establishments. And so for us, we have to train our people. We have to allow them to understand the importance of changing your passwords every 30 days, not using the same password for every single platform that you use. And I know you and I in the first session, we spoke about changing regularly your passwords. So at Digicel, we make it our business to take due diligence in everything that we do, from the people to the processes to the proactive monitoring measures that we place for our customers, ensuring that whatever security that they have, it is channeled for all the services that we provide them.
Okay. You alluded to three that I would love you to explain a little more to us, and that is ransomware, and then you talk about the white and the blue collars. Explain for us how ransomware operates.
Okay, so ransomware operates like I would attack your network, and I will obtain some very valuable information, like customer information, private confidential documentation of files, that I know that if this leaks out, it will jeopardize, it will cause reputational damage to your establishment. And so I put a figure, a dollar figure. And just to give you context, in 2023, the cost of ransomware was 4.23 million.
US dollars.
Yes, USD dollars.
It doesn't matter where in the world you are, you put in that US.
Yes,
on you.
USD dollars. And in 2024, it will increase to 4.25, right? 4.55 million. So that shows that it is a very lucrative market. It is actually more lucrative than gold, right? And so in the capacity, if I had to explain it, it would say that, Kathy, I want $1 million for all the information that I know you have with your business. And therefore, you are placed, your back is against the wall.
Yeah.
You have to either opt out of not doing it and then, expect reputational damage to happen to your establishment, or put the $1 million up front and then, guarantee that this thing does not leaks out. But there is so much ambiguity in that sense that the actual hackers, you don't see any like major publications say that, oh, someone going into prison for hacking. It's very difficult to catch them.
That's what the other thing
it's very difficult.
I'm worried about. How can you track it? Because, for instance, we would have heard VVIEC and other entities saying, we are investigating this at the highest level, and we are going to deal with whoever it is that is involved. How real it is to being able to nap those people?
It's very difficult. Even the process of investigation, because from a corporation like BVIEC, they would have to look at different layers as to what to look for. What's internal, any loopholes into the network, even from the employee standpoint, any domains or any websites that was frequently used in the last 40 to 60 days. They would need to look at any emails, anything that probably might look suspicious. So, investigation as well will take some time, effort, a lot of in-depth analysis as to what really went wrong. But to catch that person, they would need to put all the components, all the pieces of the puzzle together to get that person. And sometimes, that person could probably be right within, in your how you call it, in your back door, in your yard.
Yeah.
Because, with cybersecurity, it's very hard to put a face to the name. And there is so much, level of secrecy with those type of attacks. So what I would recommend them is, reach out to Digicel, for example. I'll always push Digicel and see how, we can support them, how we can, partner in the investigation. And also prepare them, for any other attacks that probably may come, that they'll be properly defended, have proper defense mechanisms.
Okay.
But it's not something that you would catch someone and then, it doesn't work. If that's the case, with so many of the cyber attacks which has happened, in years, those multi-million-dollar attacks, they would have probably gotten persons. There's a lot of cases that is still unsolved around the world. And in the Caribbean, that also allows us to now to say, okay, it will take a lot of time, a lot of human efforts. So let us try to just, instead of be reactive, be preventative.
Yeah.
Because they like to say prevention is always better than cure.
Yeah, with the blue and the white collar.
So it's just different levels of skill sets. You know, some, they will still do the attacks, the cyber attacks, ransomware and stuff. Some are more specialized in terms of level of infiltration into your network. But it's just a matter of even organizations, you know, have used those type of skill sets as well to do vulnerability testing, end-to-end assessments of the network. They've also used those same persons to do vulnerability assessments, name it. Look at your cloud security, look at the type of antiviruses that you have in your network. So actually organizations can utilize that same specialties. Like for us at Digital, we are specialized guys in security. We are specialized team of cyber security specialists. So that's everything they do every day. They, you know, they sleep, they eat, they drink.
So they know it
inside out. And I think for you to understand that landscape, your team of expertise or your IT professionals need to be so abreast with today's trends, so abreast with today's security and protocols in order for them to be ahead of the game. So it's a matter of education as well. So it's just that they just need to be able to, businesses here just need to be able to invest, you know, invest in security. I always tell people that digital, I think we have the most competitive, the most affordable security managed services services out there. We have in-house guys who are trained to do that as well. Just invest today. We are here to tailor the package for businesses.
Okay.
Right.
Since we would have had the very first discussion with you 3 years ago, is that already? Yes. Have you seen an uptick in persons saying to Digicel, listen, we need your help here. We need to be secure. How can you help us? Has there been an uptick?
There have been an uptick to an extent. We do see like the financial services. They are taking more a proactive focus on security, and even like in contract renewals cases, they also have their own regulation that they also want digital to ensure that we can do it, we are compliant.
Yes.
So it's important that they are doing that. And the other part where we are seeing more and more of importance is in the hospitality sector. That is also a very big sector. A lot of guest arrival information, a lot of so we are seeing more and more in that, in those two sectors. Even in like the legal practitioners, the companies here, they are also taking that stance to ensure that whatever services that they are incorporating in their businesses are fully secured. So I mean, we have been getting a conversation. Is it on a wider scale? No. It's the minority.
So people still not taking
people
it
are still
that
not
serious.
No, they are not taking it that serious. And I guess it's a case where they believe they are always safe and they don't need to worry. But more and more now we are realizing, you know, you can't put a timestamp as to when an attack is going to strike. So you have to just be ready. And a lot of small businesses need to just, you know, incorporate security into the business. Even if it's a restaurant, even if it's a bar, even if it's anything that uses internet, POS systems of recording, data capturing information, you need to invest in security.
Awesome.
You need to.
Yeah, well, and you know, the least you can do is just start by changing your password every now and then, every month, like you would say. So what is that one message you want to leave with the business community and even to private individuals at this time?
For me, I would like to say to businesses, look at the vendors that you deal with. ensure that the international vendors, local vendors, they also adhering to security practices. Sometimes the back door could not just be local. It could be from a vendor. It could be from a supplier that you probably may be outsourcing third-party services from. So I would say to the public, make security your business. Make security today your #1 priority. Let us secure and make BVI, the British Virgin Islands, a secure environment to do business. Let us protect the information of our customers. Let us ensure that our customers are also safe and the information is also safe. We, our community, let us work together. Let us collaborate. Let us have the open discussions about security and how we can create a safer landscape for the British Virgin Islands. It starts with a conversation, and it will continue with consistency and us being accountable of how we can make British Virgin Islands a safer place for our local people as well as for any visitors coming to the country. So I would say from a digital perspective, we are here to serve, we are here to support, we are here to also be able to hold your hands and tailor a security plan for you today. Do not wait for tomorrow. We are here today. Feel free to call us. You could call me personally on 300-6699. My name is Anil Daniel. I'm the head of business solutions. Or you can send your request now to bvisupport@Digital Group. That's all I have to say, and I'll be looking forward to working with everyone.
Anil, it's been a pleasure as always, keeping us reminded. I know there are people who are going to say, listen, time for me to do this. Sometimes a constant reminder is all some people need. So thank you to you and the team at Digital BVI for what you're doing and how you are playing your role as a corporate entity and ensuring that we have a safe place. You do what you need to do to ensure your safety. No one can do it for you unless you take that first step. I'm Kathy Richards. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of The Big Story.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Are you searching for new home decor items that reflect the season's latest trends? Look no further than Right Way Home. From cushion sets to decorative vases, we have unique pieces to suit every style and budget. Discover your right find at the right price, only at Right Way Home and Right Way Stores.